So this is our table, right? Do you remember? This is our sales data from our sales table. This is it. And we have a lot of things. I know we all remember this data itself. So this is the data, the whole data. I don't want to be explaining the data for us. But now I was able to create a pivot. I want you to see something. Look at this pivot. This pivot is showing something. The total, the list of all the pizzas, the revenue that was gotten for each type of pizza. And this is the total revenue if they sum it up. That is, the whole barbecue chicken that was sold for the whole period was 3.6 million. The average sales of barbecue chicken is 11,613. That is the average sale of barbecue chicken that was sold. But the total revenue for barbecue chicken was 3,600. So for the next one, this is another sum of revenue. Still on our sales table. Now I've not gone to daily sales targets now. I'm not touching that table at all. Now look at this table. Now I'm grouping before the first one I grouped by the pizza. Now I'm grouping by date. This is showing us that we are dealing with 13 dates. So the whole period was for 13 days. 3rd of September, 4th of September, 5th of September, 6th of September, 7th of September. That was the and everything till like 15th of September. So that was it. So now on the 3rd of September, how much did we make that day? They made 3.7 million. That was the amount that was made. I hope you are listening to what I'm saying. I hope you are understanding it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 3.7 million was the amount that was sold. And the total of everything is still going to be the same total as the number of what barbecue that was sold, which is for 7 million. The total too is still for 7 million. Just that here we have grouped it based on the days that we sold. And for the one up, we grouped it based on the pizza that was sold. Now, I want you to see these two total as two different things. One is as a result of the pizza that was sold, and one is as a result of what the days that the transaction were made. I think someone wants to join the class. So one is as a result of the two totals now. There are two different things. The first total that I have here is as a result of the accumulation of the total of each pizza, and the second one is as an accumulation of what the days, the daily revenue that we had. Obviously, everything is still going to what sum up to what 47,370,000 naira. Now, going back to our question, the first question, yes, retrieve the top three pizza based on the total revenue generated. Based on the total revenue generated, include the pizza name, total revenue, and the sales target. Include the pizza name, total revenue, and the sales target. So
You need to
now,
help us increase it, please.
okay, no problem. Yes. Is it better now?
If it's more a little bit. Okay. Thank you.
Now, look at the question again. Retrieve the top three pizzas sold based on the total revenue generated. Include the pizza name. That this is what they want to see now. They want to see the pizza name, the total revenue, and the sales target. Now, I want you to answer this question. Which of these two totals do you think we are going to use? Nobody is saying anything. Oh. Which of these two? Is it the one based on the pizzas that was sold, or the one based on the date?
The one based on pizza.
Thank you. The one based on pizza. So now, how do we do that? Definitely, if it is the one based on pizza, we need to group by the pizza that was sold. Because what we did on Excel was to group by the pizzas that were sold. So how do we do that? They need three things. They need the pizza sold, which we are going to take from the sales table. Another thing they need is the total revenue. How do I get the total revenue? I'm going to sum up all the revenue here. Hold on. All the revenue on my sales price. I'm going to sum it up. So how do I do that? Look at it. Sum of on my sales table. I want you to sum the sales price column, and you name it as what? Name it as what? Total revenue. And don't forget, you still have sales targets because they said they want the target. So on the sales target table, get me the sales target column too. Two things. So I've been able to select those three things that they said I should get. The pizza name, which is this. The total revenue, which is this. This is the total revenue. And the sales target. The sales target. And this sales target is on another table. The name of the table is what? Sales target table. And the name of the column is sales target. So now we've been able to do that. Where am I picking from? I'm picking from two tables, right? I'm picking from the sales table and the sales target table. Those are the two tables that I'm referencing here. So sales table join sales target table. On what? Two columns must be common in the two tables. The sales table pizza sold is the same as the sales target pizza. I know we know all of those. I know we know it. So what am I grouping by? I'm grouping by the pizza sold here. And because this here, I have this here, and this is not what? An aggregate function. I have to what? I have to use this as one of my group by functions. So I have to use this as one of my group by functions. So then order by what? Order by the total revenue. This is not even in the question, but it's just to okay. They said we should retrieve the top three. Thank you. Since they said we should retrieve the top three, I have to order it from the highest to the lowest. So ordering by total revenue now, descending, then limit three because it said top three. Then I'll take the first three that this ordering will give me, the top three. And once I do that, I'll be able to get these three things. You understand everything I just explained? Raise up your hand. Only three people. Mr. Larry. I think Mr. Larry is on here again. Okay, no problem. Okay, okay. You can drop your hands. So if you don't understand, raise up your hand. I know the reason why I'm asking you, and it's kind of compulsory. This is perpetual. Okay. So which part? Okay, Mr. Perpetual, Mr. Samuel. So which part, Mrs. Perpetual? Don't you understand?
Like I wanted to ask, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I got this I understand this actually, but I wanted to ask like this order by it only comes in when you're asking of when they're asking of maybe the top three or the last three. That's when order by comes in. If not, there is no need for any order in.
Yes, yes, yes. There's no need.
That's okay. That's what I want. I understand. Actually, this number one was very easy for me. I understand it, but I just wanted to ask because some other ones I was making the mistake of putting order by even when I was not asked.
Okay, okay, no problem. There was no need. Mr. Samuel.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
I don't know if it's my own network, but I seem to lose the audio from when you were differentiating between the tables earlier on, so I couldn't hear anything.
Okay. It's just the table on Excel, right?
Yes.
This is, I'm saying this revenue that we got here is as a result of the total pizzas, the total revenue for each pizza that was sold, right? Are you with me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I've entered.
So now, for the second one, is as a result of the amount that was made each day. It's not based on pizza. This second total now is as a result of the amount that was made each day. Do you understand?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is this grand total, they are the same thing, obviously, but I want you to see it differently. This one is as a result of the pizzas that were sold, and this is as a result of the amount that was made daily,
Daily
right?
sales.
So
Okay.
this is
All right.
the daily revenue. You know, a lot of transaction occurred on the 3rd of September, right? A lot of transaction occurred. So, but the total of all transactions that occurred for the 3rd of September is this.
Is it 3.7? Okay.
Yes. But if you look at this, this is showing us for the whole period from 3rd of September to 15th of September, how much did they sell for barbecue chicken,
Only
which is
barbecue
this.
chicken.
So this is
Okay.
for each type of pizza, and this is for what? The daily sales. You know, by the time you calculate the total, it must be the same thing.
I'm getting you.
Yes. So that's why I just explained. So now, going back to our SQL, since you understand this, let's go to the second question. Yes. Now, look at this. Compare the total revenue generated for each type of pizza. The total revenue generated for each type of pizza. Which type of total are we going to be using in that case? The first one, right? The one that was due to the pizzas. Are you with me?
Yes.
Yes, yes, sir. I'm with you.
Okay. Now, display the pizza name, the total revenue, and the average revenue for each pizza. So they need two things. They need to get the average revenue for each pizza. So now, they said we should display the pizza name. So from the sales table, I'm going to select this. In fact, you don't even need to put this sales table here. You don't. It's not needed. You can decide to put it. You can decide not to put it because we are not joining anything. So it's not needed. So from the sales table, so it's not compulsory it is there. You are still going to get the same answer. The fact that it is there does not mean it is wrong. So from the sales table, take the pizza sold, sum of the sales price from the sales table. You have to sum it and put it as what total revenue. And they said something else. They said they want the average of that sales price too. The average of the sales price as what sales revenue, as sales revenue. From where? From the sales table. From the sales table. So we group by what? That pizza sold. Hold on. So we removed this is not there, sorry. So now we have this. So group by sales table dot pizza.
Daniel, average of what is that? It's not showing on the screen. Average of
Okay, let me just bring it here. You know they asked for the average revenue.
okay, continue.
Do you understand? They ask for the average revenue. So this is how we get our average revenue from
I'm
sales
checking
team.
that. See.
So group by the pizza sold. Since we are using this type of what? We are using this particular total. So we have to group by what? The pizza sold. Group by the pizza sold. And this ordering is not compulsory. It's just to give our code, sorry, our answer a sequence. It's just to give our answer a sequence. And even with this sef, I want to group by this. You can group by anything you want. So sorry, you can order by anything you want. It's not compulsory you order by this. I decide to order by this now. So you can see I've ordered it from in ascending order, so it's going to be from the smallest to the highest. So look at it. I've been able to generate this. I think someone wants to join the class again.
Sorry, how many rows was it returned?
The number of rows that we returned, I won't be able to count it all.
I thought you would show the number by the beneath.
Sorry, Mr. Ahmed.
Yes, ma.
I thought we've already created a revenue table.
I'm not getting you, ma.
Like I'm seeing this your sum sales table dot sales price as total revenue. I thought we already created revenue as a table,
As a
as a
column, right?
as a column. I mean to say
Yes, I
yes.
named my own sales price.
Oh, okay.
So, Mr.
But ours is
Mr.
revenue, right?
Do you understand what I did? Look at it here. Sales price.
I'm trying to check my own. I just want to know how many rows was returned. You know, at the beneath, it always shows you how many rows that were returned.
It can just show you. Is it showing you? This is just number
It's
of
meant to
columns.
show. Check by the down part, that green place where it shows you those
Okay, no,
rows.
no, no, no. Okay, I
It will show
understand.
you
Okay, okay,
rows.
okay.
It will show you
This
how
got
many
you.
rows.
Okay, 16
Yeah.
rows, 16 rows.
Yeah.
16 rows were
Okay,
returned. I don't
16.
know. I don't know that was what you were asking for. 16 rows, yes.
Hmm. Mine is showing 80 and it's sticking it green. And it's the same thing I did.
Ah, maybe there's a mistake somewhere. Oh. Check your group by very well.
Or maybe he's using the
Hmm.
sales price instead of revenue. You know, you said you named your own different from ours.
Yes, yes, yes. Even if he's using, if he has named his own revenue, no problem. He can still continue with revenue.
That means instead of that sales table dot sales price, he will now do sales table dot revenue.
Revenue. Yeah, that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, so maybe that's why he's getting more roles than you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Where maybe Mr. Larry, maybe you should screenshot what you have and send it to the group. Take a picture of what you have and send it to the group. The picture of your code.
Okay, I'll do that now. I'll do that now.
So let's continue. So now identify. Hold on. So look at this. Identify pizzas that the total revenue is below the average sales target. That the total revenue is below the average sales target and have generated revenue less than the overall average revenue. Less than the overall average revenue. I'll come again. Identify pizzas that the total revenue is below the average sales target and have generated revenue less than the overall average revenue. So now, what do we do? So let's continue. What do? We have this. Let's select our pizza sold, our sales target, and sum of sales price. Hold on, I'm coming. Yes, I know I did this somewhere else. Now, look at this. That was for yesterday. This is, now look at this. I'm selecting, because they said identify the pizzas, right? The question is, identify the pizza that the total revenue is below the average sales target. Identify the pizzas that the total revenue is below the average sales target. So now, my answer must be showing only the pizzas, because it's not like you want to have the revenue and the target. My answer should involve only the pizza. If you are including the revenue and the sales target, so far the pizzas is also showing, no problem. But this is the main thing. My answer should involve only the pizza. Now, what am I going to do? I want to identify those pizzas. I want to identify those pizzas that the total revenue is less than the average sales target. And also that revenue is less than the average sales price. That is the average revenue you generated. Obviously, this question, there is no way the total revenue is less than that second condition. There is no way that is possible. But let's just continue with what we are doing. So now I'll select, because I want to see only one. So I'll select only that thing I want to see. I want to see the pizzas that will satisfy this condition that I have. So I'll select only that pizza. I'll select that from the sales table. I want to see the pizza sold. So I'll select that pizza from where? From the sales table. Now, because in my question I have sales target involved. In my question, sales target is involved. So I need to involve that table, that particular table. So I need to join it with that table. So I'll say join sales target on sales table pizza sold is also sales target pizza. You know, in your question, there's a place they mention sales target, and the only place you can get sales target is from the sales target table. That is the reason why I'm joining it. So what will I group by? Hold on. I don't need this. Yes. So now, what am I grouping by? I'm grouping by which type of column am I using? Which type of total am I using? I'm using this type of total. Since I'm using this type of total, I'm grouping by what? The pizza sold. I'm grouping by what? The pizza sold. So let's group by what? The pizza. I'm grouping by the pizza sold. No problem. Now, those are our conditions. What are those conditions? The first condition is that what? The first condition is that the revenue you generated, that is the total revenue, must be less than the average sales target. Then how do we get our average sales target? This is the formula to get our average sales target normally. It's not to get the average sales target now. We say select average of the sales target from sales target table. No problem. Or better still, that's the only way you can even do it. You have to use it like that. And the second condition they gave us is that that same revenue is less than the average sales price from the sales table. That revenue that we generated is less than the average sales price from the sales table. I don't know if I'm getting the question. Let's read the question again. Oh, and I've generated revenue. Sorry, revenue. Revenue. Okay, okay. So this is it. Hold on. So now this is it. Yes, this is it. So now the reason why I'm having a mistake is because I didn't use revenue to name my table name. If this was revenue on your own, you know it was revenue. This is revenue. This column is called revenue column on your own table, right? So now he said, look at the first one. He said the total revenue, which is this, must be below the average sales target, which is this. This is how to get the average sales target. And also, it has generated revenue. That pizza sold has generated a revenue less than the overall average revenue. So now this is it.
Mr. Ahmed,
Yes, sir.
this have generated less has generated revenue less. Does it not mean that the particular pizza, let's say pepperoni now, the
Yeah.
revenue it has generated, the total, is less than, I don't think it is the revenue for each transaction, because as it is now, it is each transaction we are looking at as opposed to the overall revenue.
I'm not getting your question, sir.
What I'm saying, sir, is that um, when you're using the where clause, because you wrote where sales price, which is revenue, is less than average revenue. If you use it in the where clause like this, it is going to filter every revenue that is less than the average out of the table before proceeding with the rest of the query. But the way the question was phrased, I understood it. I thought it meant that the pizzas that we are trying to find, we want all the pizzas where the total revenue in each pizza. You know, the thing is, we are grouping it by the pizzas, just like
Yes, yes.
the what you have. So now we are looking at all the pizzas, each pizza, what has each pizza generated. But we want to exclude those that. This thing, I guess, how you interpret the question has a lot to do with how you write the query.
Hold on, hold on. I think I'm getting what you're saying. Hold on. Let's go back to our. Just hold on. Now look at this. This is the average of each type of pizza, right?
Yes.
Now, hold on now, come here. To get that revenue,
Because my own thinking was that it's not supposed to give us any result because I don't see anywhere where the total generated for a pizza will be less than the average for a single transaction. And so when I
wait,
got the result,
wait. You are concerned with. If I understand your question now, you are concerned with this statement.
Yes, that statement, because that statement is what's determining how we filter where we are using our where versus having.
So we dey say we should identify this, identify the pizza, where the
Mm-hmm.
revenue generated
Yes.
for each type of pizza.
Yes.
Okay, okay. The revenue generated for each type of
I
pizza.
thought we're supposed to sum that
Yes, we're not supposed to
sales
use.
price.
Yes, we sum the
I
sales
thought it's
price.
supposed to sum.
That's
Yes,
what I'm
yes,
thinking.
yes. I'm sorry. Yes. So our having clause still remains. Our having clause still remains because this revenue that we generated here is as a result of the group by clause that we already have. Don't forget, we already grouped by
Yes.
what the figures already. So
Yes.
this is valid.
Exactly. Uh-huh.
Yes. It is this. It's because I'm using sales price. That's why I'm confused. That was why I was confused. Sorry.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, it's valid. It's valid. This is valid. So by the time you run this, you won't get an answer. So this is out because it is not possible for you to have this condition, this second condition. It is not possible. So by the time you run this, you won't have any answer. Now I will explain again for the sake of those that don't get what we are saying. It is. Let me just use. Let me just use this. So I will get what I'm saying. So now I know the problem is from this particular statement. So let's continue. They said identify pizza. So what I want to see is only the pizza column. So I'll say from the sales table, just choose the pizza column.
Sorry. So no result is turned out.
Yes, okay, I can hear you now, sir.
So no result.
I can hear you.
I said no result on the.
Yes, there won't be any result.
Okay, good then. I'm good then.
Okay. I need to help us mute your mic. Yes. So from the sales table, I will take the pizza sold. From sales table, obviously you complete your select statement. So select join. So just for clarity's sake, let's join. Join sales target on sales table dot pizza equals sales target dot pizza. Group by this. Now let's come to the first condition. They said the total revenue is below the average sales target. Which is this? This is the total revenue. The total revenue is the sum of what the sales price. It's less than this. And total revenue too is less than the average overall average price. That is the overall average revenue, which is this. I think that has settled what we have. This is total revenue. This is what we have for total revenue, and this is the syntax for the overall average revenue. This is the syntax for the overall average revenue. Let's continue. Someone wants to join the class. Mr. No, Mrs. Anu.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Are we not supposed to select some revenue and the average?
If you have done that, you still get the same thing. Just that you have the revenue column and the sales target column to beside it. But in this
Yes.
case, look at the question. Identify pizzas that the total revenue is below. So it is only that column that is needed. That pizza column. You understand? They just want to see the pizzas.
Okay.
But if you have kept it, you are not wrong. So they can
Okay.
even still see. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just like I'm
Yes.
giving additional information of those two columns.
Yes. Okay.
So the next question. The next question is find pizza that have a price higher than the overall average price. higher than the overall average price. And a sales target greater than the overall average target. Those two conditions. So in whatever you are doing, there is a condition that exclude Ikoyi branch. In whatever you are doing, exclude what? Ikoyi branch. This question is straightforward. I'll explain this question again. Find pizza that have a price higher than the overall average price and a sales target greater than the overall average target. A sales target greater than the overall average target. Exclude Ikoyi branch from consideration. So in all your consideration, you should exclude Ikoyi. So how do I start? They said I should find pizza. Mrs. Perpetua, how many columns do I need in this particular table?
Three. That's a pizza sold, the sales targets, this thing, and
No, no, I'm just saying for my answer. For me to have my answer, how many columns do I need in my answer, in my response? The response SQL is going to bring for me. How many columns do I need to see?
count out. That's what I'm trying to count out. You have the pizza sold.
Now, you're not getting what I'm saying. You're not getting what I'm saying. Now, let me
Okay,
read it
okay.
for you again. Look at the question. Find pizza. So the question is find the pizza.
Find pizzas that have
Yes.
that have a price higher than the overall average price.
So now, what I'm saying now is that in my answer, how many things do I need? I need to see only those pizzas, right? I don't have
Yes.
issues with their. I don't want to see their price. I want to see those pizzas, right?
Okay, so just a column.
Just a column. Thank you.
Mm.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not asking us to attach the overall price, whatever. They
Thank
just
you.
want the
You
pizzas.
might need all those ones though for your conditions.
Mm.
But what we want to
Mm.
see is how many
It's
column.
just a column. Yes.
Just only that column. So
Okay.
what am I going to do now? My select statement will include only that column. This is only that column I want to select, right? So I will do something like select the pizza sold from sales table, right? From sales table, join sales target on all of this. I know you understand this. Now let me start with my condition. The first condition is that the price, that is on this our table, we have a price table, not sales price. So we have a price column. We have a price column. That is why I'm using the where clause. Where price, where price is higher than the overall average price. Overall average price. How do I get the average price normally? Now look at this. How do I get average price? I will say select average price
From sales table.
from sales table. Then I'll run this. Can you see the average price is 3,136? But don't forget that this average price, that Ikoyi, was included when they were calculating this average price. And they already gave us a condition that excludes Ikoyi branch. So while I'm having these two, I have to remove that Ikoyi. That is why I'm having select average price from sales table where branch is not what Ikoyi. So I've removed Ikoyi like that. Because in this case, if I'm putting that price, Ikoyi will be included. So I've removed Ikoyi. Now another thing, because I have another condition. He said the sales target. the sales target must be greater than the overall average target. The sales target, because on the sales target table I can find the sales target. The sales target must be greater than what? The overall average target. How do I find the overall average target? This is the statement to find the overall average target. That is for my sales table. Sorry, for my sales target table. I will find the overall average. That is the average of the sales target table. If what I'm saying you don't understand this, please say something. Okay, let's continue then. So now, this is my second clause. Now, in everything that I've written, forget this price. Oh, you know this where clause now. This equal is just affecting only this where clause for equal is affecting only this statement. But don't forget this whole statement too. This whole statement, equal must be removed from this whole statement too. So I'll still put that the branch must not be equal again. I still have to put it that what the branch must not be what equal, and I'll group by what the pizza sold. I'll group by the pizza sold. Then I'll run it. And I have my answer. So this is showing only the pizzas that are satisfying all these conditions. This is showing the pizzas that are satisfying all these conditions. If you have any question, let me know
Mr.
before yes, sir.
I have the same solution. My only difference is I did not group it.
Now, the reason why I grouped, now in your own,
Okay.
this barbecue chicken will be appearing more than once.
Everything appeared. I don't even know how many rules I had anymore. I think like almost 1,000 rules.
Yes, because it's going to do it according to the table that you have, because you have 5,000
The
tables
table.
already.
Yeah.
So the group by clause now is just bringing out 7 rows. So it's just bringing out the unique ones, the distinct ones, sorry. So even if you are calling more than once, you just count it as one. I just want to see those teasers, right? It's not like you have to bring it out multiple times for me. Do you understand?
I get you.
Yes. So let me go to the next one.
Okay, I wanted to ask. So we
Yes.
have to include Ikoyi twice because I only included it at the end of the other one.
No,
So we
you
have
need
to
to
include
include.
it twice.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So that it will know that you are excluding it from
That
any
average.
okay, so the both are good. Okay.
Yes. So now, number 5, we are coming back to number 5. This is the city we are talking about. We are coming back to number 5. This is city combined with Windows function. So don't forget number 5, we are coming back. Please don't forget.
We are skipping five now.
We are skipping number 5 for now. We are going to treat it in this class. So
Okay.
I want to explain to us the things that we are already used to before I go back to Windows function. Now look at it. It said retrieve the daily revenue. Retrieve the daily revenue. Now, what are we doing? Daily revenue is different from daily sales target. Oh. Daily revenue. In that case, since they said retrieve the daily revenue, what are we doing? Are we using this one or this one? Mrs. Timebi Charles. Mr. Timebi Charles. Which of these two tables are we using now? Is it this one, revenue for pizza, or the daily revenue? Which one? I've even answered itself. So it's going to be the second one. This one. But this one is now grouped on what? Those days. So I can see that daily, on the third, this is what I made. On the fourth, this is what I made. So now, retrieve the daily revenue, one column, the daily sales target, and when they say the variance between that revenue that you calculated and the target for each day, it means that the difference between this one and this one, the difference between this one and this one, that's what they mean. And he said in your answer include the date and the calculated variance. That is this variance that you calculated here. Include it. So how many columns am I having in total? He said retrieve the daily revenue. So I'll have this. I'll have this. I'll have the dates. And I'll have that variance that we calculated here. So making what? Making what?
4 columns.
4 columns. Thank you. So yes. So that you can see it very well. So now, what's the first column? I said, okay, select from the sales table, you need the date. From the sales table, you need the date because it's part of what we said you wanted. Then the sum of the sales price, the sum of the sales price, we need it to get our what daily revenue. We need it as what total daily revenue, as total daily revenue. Then we need another thing from the daily sales target table. We need the target because they said we should get what is the daily sales target, and the daily sales target, that target is on the daily sales target table. So I need to put the table name and the column name. The column name is target. Then the next thing is the variance. That is the difference between this one that I calculated and this one here. That is variance. The variance, that is the difference. So now, what will I do? I'll just open a bracket. This one, that is sum of sales table, this one here, look at it here. Variance, that is minus this one here. Minus what? This one here. And I want you to name it as difference. That is, when you are bringing out your response, this particular column, the answer for this column, I want you to put it as what? Difference. You can name it as anything you want. From where? We are taking from two tables. From sales table, join daily sales target. What is the common column between the two? On the date in the sales table is the same as the day in the daily sales target table. I know all those things, they are still simple to you. You understand those ones. Then, if you look at everything that I'm doing here, only two things are not aggregate functions. This one here, and this one. So I'm going to group by those two things that are not aggregate function. Because even in the difference column, there's an aggregate function here. So now, I'll group by this, and I'll also group by what? This. And I'll run it, and I'll get my answer. So I have the dates, the daily sales target, the target, and the difference.
Sorry, how many rows did you want?
13 rows.
13.
Because we have 13 days, right? We have 13 days now. So it will populate only 13 rows. Question 7. Question 7. Find the days where the total revenue exceeds the daily sales target. Hold on. I think I wrote it somewhere else. Okay. So now, find the days where the total revenue exceeds the daily sales target. Include the dates. Oh, include the dates, the total revenue, the daily sales target for each exceeding day. I didn't see this one. And the daily sales target for each exceeding day. So now let's continue. So now we have the dates. That is from the sales table, we pick the dates. From the how do we get our total revenue? From the sales table, we sum the sales price column. We sum it together. We've been doing this, and we call this total revenue. Then the daily sales target. That is the target from the daily sales target. We pick that too. From where? From two tables. From the sales table, join daily sales target. On all of this, you understand this? Now, here I have an aggregate function. This is an aggregate function. Here, this is a standalone function. This is another standalone function. So what will I be grouping by? Those two standalone functions. I'm grouping by those two standalone functions. And there is a condition. We said where the total revenue, that is that total revenue that we calculated, this one exceeds the daily sales target. I know the daily sales target is just a column, so it must be greater than the daily sales target. That is the target column on the daily sales target. So let's see those days. If I run that, I'll have this. If you notice, only 5 days satisfied this condition. Only 5 days satisfied this condition. 5 days satisfied this condition. Question 8. Yes. Okay, we'll come back to question 8. I'm coming. Let me do question 9, then we'll come back to question 8, then question 5. So now, list the days where the total revenue falls below the daily sales target. List the days where the total revenue, that is the total revenue that was generated for that day, falls below the daily sales target. That is the daily sales target for that same day. Include the date, the total revenue, and the daily sales target for each day below the target. Include the date, that is this, the total revenue, which is the sum of this, and the daily sales target, this, for those days that are below that our daily sales target. So I will select all of this from sales table, join this, group by how many functions are not aggregates, only two, these two. So I'll group by those two. Then what is my condition? My condition is that revenue that I'm getting, that revenue must be less than the daily sales target. That revenue must be less than the daily sales target. And that is all. And in that one, 7 days out of 13 days satisfies this condition. So the remaining 6 days, the revenue were greater than the target. But for 7 days, they didn't meet the target. Any question before I go to question 8 and question 5? Any question before I go to question 8 and question 5?
I don't know. Mine is getting 13. I don't know why.
You have to please. I think your speaker is. I don't know if you are connected to another device. Your speaker is really loud. So
Hmm.
I don't know why
I'm
you are
busy.
having that. Maybe you have to check and you have to check it again and see the way I wrote my own.
Okay.
Now, question 8. Question 8. Now, calculate the average daily revenue. Calculate the average daily revenue. Average daily revenue. What does that mean? That is the first thing we need to understand first. Average daily revenue. That is for each day on average. How much am I making? On average, every day, how much am I making? That is different from the total that was made. On average, this is the amount that was made every day. So on the third, on average, I don't know if you are getting it. On average, not the total, on average. Average daily revenue and identify days where revenue is above the average. Identify days where your total revenue is above the average. Display the date, the total revenue, and the daily sales target. Now, where we have problem is just these two statements. I need you to understand, and I want to explain very well again. Where is it? Let's turn it. Okay. Calculate the average daily revenue. That is on average. How much am I making per day? On average, how much am I making per day? So now, and now identify days. That's the question. Identify days where that revenue is above, where the total revenue is above that average. Identify days where that revenue is above that average. Yes. So 6 days came out. Now, before I do this, I want to show you something. I want you to see all of this very well. Let me remove all these tabs so you see what I'm talking about. Hold on. So, so as I was saying, I want you to see this. Let me run this. What's happening? Oh,
That your okay.
now if you see this now, if you look at all this select statement is giving us this. Hold on now. Okay, 335 1000. I want to see if it's sorted. Yeah. So now it's giving this. Now, how do I get for each day? For each day, how do I get their total revenue first? For each day, how do I get their total revenue? For each day, I want to get it for each day. You know, this all these things that I got here, all these things that I got for each day, how do I get it? What is the select statement to get all of this? These two things. What is the select statement to get it? This is the best way I can explain. I don't know what is
You select date, you select sum of revenue,
I will
you
select
then
the
group.
date and then I will go by the date, Abi, to get
Yeah,
the amount that was made each day, right?
yeah.
Thank you. Now that is what we did here. We said select, then you have to add up all those things as total revenue from sales table. I'll tell you the reason why we did this, which is not compulsory, but I'll tell you the reason why we did this. Then we group by the date column, right? That's how we get that table. Who is not getting it from here? Forget about this join. Forget about this join for now. Forget about this one now. Let me aesthetic it out. I will explain this later. Now,
Look, sir. That
yes,
group by sales table dot dates as
no, forget about
average
this one. This
revenue.
is where
I
this
don't
is where the
understand.
code is. This is
Oh,
where the code
okay.
is ending. This is where this code is ending. I want to
Okay.
explain those sub queries first. Now, what is
Okay.
this giving us? This particular one, select sum of everything as total revenue from sales table. Then I'm grouping by the date. What will it give us? If you notice, if you notice, this is what it will give us. That is for each day, what we are making. That is what we are going to get. If you don't understand that particular statement, let me know. That is what that statement will give us.
I didn't
Okay.
get that now.
Okay. Now look at this statement. If I want to generate this one, if I want to generate a statement that will give me this answer, what would I do? I will tell Excel that select the date and the sum of the sales price from the sales table, then I'll group by that date. That's how to get it normally. And that's the same thing that we have here. That's the same thing. Select the sum of the sales price as total revenue from sales table. Group by that date column. And date column is called your sales table dot state. And that highlighted statement that one that I highlighted, that statement that I highlighted, I'm explaining that statement. That's what we have, right? Right?
It's okay.
Okay. Now, if you notice, that date column was not included in our select statement here. So this particular thing will only throw up this column, only this column, Abi, right? It will only throw up only this column. because I didn't say select the date. I just use the date in the group by. Look at it again. Is there date here? No date. But I just use date in the group by. I can easily put that date here too. Look at it. This is how it's supposed to be. Look at something. This is how it's supposed to be. And if I run that particular statement, if I run it, see, it will bring out the date and the revenue. But I don't want to see this date. Since I don't want to see this date, I can just decide to remove it. Let me remove it. Since I've removed it and I run it, instead of bringing out, sorry, instead of bringing out the date and the total revenue, it will only bring out the revenue. And don't forget, this revenue is the daily revenue that we generated. This revenue is the daily revenue that we generated. Now, from all of this, this is what we got. This is the daily revenue that that particular statement gave us. I want to now get the average of all of this. What is the average? That is the overall daily revenue average. You know, if I want to calculate average, I want everything together and divide by 13, right? Just like per day, oh, they want to say on average, how much are you making per day? On the first day, look at it. Okay, let me sort this according to the date. Hold on now. On the third, you made 3.7. On the fourth, you made 3.5. On the fifth, you made 3.8. On the sixth, you made 3.8. On average, how much are we making per day? That's going to be around 3 point something. So on average, you just say, okay, I'm making around 3 point something on average. So how do we get that average? Average of all of this. Let's even try it. Equals AVG. Let's find the average. The average of all of this. Can you see? The average is what? 3.6. The average is 3.6. That is the average of, that is per day. Roughly, we are making 3.6 per day on average. So how do we get that? How do we get that 3.6? I can only get it if I've gotten, okay, how much am I making per day first? Which is what we did here. I will now say select average of that total revenue that we just calculated. You know, we calculated total revenue. Look at it. We named it what? All those things, all these things that we have here. All these things that we have here, we call it total revenue. Look at it. So I now say select the average of those total revenue. From where? From where am I taking it? You know, we don't have a table. We just have a select statement that can give us that. This is the select statement. The select statement that gave us that answer. The select statement that gave me that answer. This is it. You are confused. Say something. Okay. Thank you. So let's continue. So now the select statement that gave me this answer, that gave me this, is this. So where am I picking my average from? I'm picking that average from this select statement. That is why I'm saying select the average of that total that we calculated, this total revenue. Select the average. From where? This total. From this particular table. This table. This table just have only one column. And this is the table. Right? So select the average of this one. The average of all this. From this select statement. If you calculate that average and you've calculated the average, I want you to name it as average revenue. Name it as what? Average revenue. So by the time we run this particular statement now, this one, if I run it, I'll get that 3.6. That 3.6 that Excel gave us. This 3.6, 3.643. Still the same 3.643 that I will get here. That is what they are not telling us. That average daily. They now said we should identify days. Look at the question. Calculate the average daily revenue and identify days where that revenue is above the average, which we just calculated now. You don't understand. I've started it again. Say something.
Mr. Ray, can you show us the Excel table again, please?
Okay. This is the Excel table. So what they need is that those days where, hold on, no, not the average now. The average is this. The average is this. Hold on. I think the explanation will be better now. Those days where the revenue is above. So we want to get those days where we have revenues that are above 3.6, this particular one. What are those days? Third is there. This one cannot be there because we have 3.6. So third is there, fifth is there, sixth is there. Do you understand? Seventh is there, eighth is not there because this is 3.5. So we are looking for those days where the revenue we calculated, the revenue is above the average daily revenue. That's our question. Do you understand now? Where it is above that average. So you need to start from somewhere. Now, this is, why am I putting a join clause? The reason why I'm putting a join clause is because for this particular table, if you look at it, this is the first column here is third, and remember third is there. There is no fourth here. The next one is fifth. If you go to our table, we have third. Fourth is not greater than 3.6. That is why we don't have fourth. Then the next we have is what? This. So that is exactly what it gave us. Now, why do I have this here? Why am I joining with the daily sales target? The reason why I'm doing that is because if for our table, it is valid. Even if you put it or you don't put it, it is valid. Now, let's assume that, let me go to where I have, uh, now look at this. Let's assume that I have 16th of October and I have the target for 16th of October. I have the target for 16th of October. Are you with me, everyone? This is the daily sales target.
Yes.
Yes.
Then I have the target for 16th of October. But on my sales table, that is on this table, there is no 16th. There is no 16th. But there is 16th on that other one. Do you understand? There is 16th on that other one. What I'm saying in this particular statement now is that whatever you are doing, make sure that the days that I have are the days on both tables. That is, there are days that we have a target. Because we need to what? We need to show our daily sales targets too. So on the 16th now that we don't have, what will now happen to that date? But if you had done join, if you had joined with this, then it would have been out. Don't forget the type of join that I'm using is an inner join. If I'm using ordinary join, it is an inner join. So if any date is not in both tables, then it is out. I don't know if you're understanding what I'm saying.
We'll digest it.
Okay. Okay. So now he said where the total revenue, that is the total revenue that you calculated from here now, is higher than that average that we calculated. Where is the average that we calculated? Look at it here. So where the total revenue is greater than what? The average. So they want to see those days. They want to see the what? Sales price, and they want to see the what? Sales target for those days. They want to see the sales target for those days. So that is it. Any questions before I go to question 5?
Mr. Ahmed,
Yes, sir.
I didn't get it, and I figured out why I didn't get it. But I just wanted to ask a question.
Okay.
Um, would, so what I did, I now know why it is wrong. Anyways, I looked at the average revenue per day instead of
I
looking at
know
the
the total
instead of
average.
looking at the, instead of looking at the average revenue for the sum of each day.
Yes,
So
yes, yes, yes. I
so
understand what you did.
what I was trying to say is when I made, apart from that mistake, what I did was, as you created your own table there and you named the table as average revenue, instead of having it in the having, I had it in the from, and then I joined that table I created together with the revenue table together with the target table, and then applied the filter in the where.
What you just said has scattered my head.
You know what
So
when you
one
turn
thing
this
is,
down,
Mr. Michael, one thing is,
yeah.
so as not to, so as not to spoil the momentum of this class, because that thing that you just said is like it just to scatter everything in my head now. But one thing is, I know there is no one way to solve this particular problem. That I'm very sure of. But one thing is, what you
Okay.
have, you can send to me, so I will check what you have. What you have now, I must see it. I must be able to read it first before I can understand. The way you just said it like that,
Okay.
oh, I cannot get it. It's
I
sure.
know it's not correct anyway because of the way I calculated the average, but I wanted to know if the average was
If you can,
calculated properly, if that was.
yes, if you can calculate your average properly, then you can use it that way too. Now I understand your question.
All right.
Mrs.
Thank you.
Anu, Mrs. Anu, you are unmuted though. I thought you wanted to say something.
Sir, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. You're talking to me.
You were unmuted, so I thought you wanted to say something.
I know.
Okay. So I'm coming.
Mr. Ahmed,
Yes, sir.
this join of a thing. You said you are going to bring forward scenarios that will help us understand it better. So we are
Yes.
still looking forward.
Okay. I I hope uh, hopefully we'll do that. But I just believe that since we have your okay, is it that you still need scenarios like that, right?
Yes.
I'll look for scenarios like that. Okay, no problem. I'll look for scenarios like that. But that won't be like that will be like a 10 minutes class to just show you what it is.
Okay.
Okay. So now Now I want to explain the concept of something to you now. Now look at this. This is this that same select statement. Now having all of this now, having all these things. What if I can represent this one? Hold on. You know this particular one. Where did this stop? Yes, it stopped here. Gave us a table. This one. Let me go back to the Excel. I'll show you. Look at it. It gave us a table of where we have the list of those average. What if instead of having all of these things, what if I can keep this table temporarily so that I don't have to write all of this? I would have written it down somewhere before. So anytime I need it, I will just use it. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Instead of writing all these things to be big like this, why can't I just write it somewhere? That I would have said, okay, oh, this table, this thing here, this thing, I'll represent it with what? Let's represent it with something. Let's represent it with Mr. Ario's number. Ario. That is this table. Let's represent it with Ario. So anytime I need it, I will just say select average of this total revenue from Ario. This thing, this select statement is giving me a table. How why can't I just represent this table temporarily? Oh? Since I just want to use it inside this select statement, why can't I just represent it with a name? Now I want to represent with Ario. So now my select statement now is not going to be something like this. Instead of having all of this, I would have just said I would have just said all of this now is now going to be Ario. This is out. This as is going to be here. So I'll just say from Ario. Don't forget my Ario now. Ario is what? Ario is a select statement that has this, right? I know that this is Ario. But instead of writing this inside of this, I will just say having total revenue select total average revenue as this from Ario. Mrs. Nkem, do you understand what I just explained?
Yes, sir.
Who does not understand what I just explained? So now, instead of doing now, since you understand, thank you. Now, those temporary expressions, that is this particular one that I have here, that I can easily use in my subsequent select statement, are called CTEs. Are called what? CTEs.
Accord what? Make my thing is loud.
Sorry, you said they are called what? Okay, city.
Have you seen it?
Yes, sir.
They are called
Okay,
CTE.
CTE.
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry, sir.
CTE.
What's the full meaning?
Common table expressions.
Sorry?
Common table expressions.
Okay.
Common table expressions. Now, how do we use them? How do we use them? That is now the next thing. How do we use them? Let's go back to our Excel.
Mr. Ahmed, are you recording this class?
Yes, that recording is important. Who asked that question? Mr. Michael. Is it Mr.
Yeah.
Michael?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. It's recorded. So now I want to do something. This my I want to remove this. What's happening? Okay, hold on.
Hello?
I'm with you. Now let's go back to question 5. Determine the top performing pizza in each branch based on total revenue. Determine the top performing pizza in each branch based on the total revenue. That is, you have to display the branch, the pizza name, and the total revenue for each top performer. So what I want to do is like this. We've done something like that before. That is in Gagada now, Gagada branch. The top performing pizza is what? Chicken suya. And it's making 884,000. In Ibadan, the top performing is what? Hot pepperoni feast, which is making around 1.1 million. So how do I do this? I'll come here, then I'll filter. We've done this before. Excel. You have forgotten. Yes. Okay. So this is it. This is what we need from our SPL. This is what we need from our SPL. This is what we need. Now, if you look at this, this was not sorted. In Gagada, it was not sorted. I didn't sort it now. This is before sorting. The highest is here, chicken suya. Look at it here. If I decide to sort, it will come up, but I've not sorted it. So now, um, how do we do this in Excel, in SQL? What is one of the best ways to do this in SQL? So that is the question that they asked. How many of us were able to understand that that was the question they asked and were able to provide the answer?
I know I got it, but I'm not confident in how I got it.
Okay. So now this is how they got it. Now that CTE that I talked about now, this is how they use it. It starts with what? A with statement. So with, then the name of the CTE, what you want to call that CTE. You know, we call our own what? Ario. Then they are calling their own what? Pizza ranking. Do you understand?
Yes.
So
Yes,
now,
sir.
if I wanted to create a CTE for Ario now, I would have said with Ario as, then I open a bracket. That select statement that contains Ario, that is this select statement, will now be what I will put inside the bracket. So if I wanted to write a CTE for this Ario, I would have said something like this. With Ario as, open a bracket, then this select statement will be inside this Ario. That is how we do it. So anywhere I want to use that statement now, I don't need to be writing it. I'll just use Ario. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes.
So now, Mr. Dara, okay, so Mr. Larry. So now, what is inside that our city? Look at what they did. You know what we need is something like this. We need something like this, something that will list. We need something that will list. Okay, look at what I need. So look at this particular thing. Now look at this. It has given me Gagada. Can you see what I have here? Let me export this. Hmm, where did you save? Oh, I didn't get it. Now, look at it. Can you see what I have here? Look at the answer SQL gives us, right? This is the branch and pizza soup combination and the total revenue. Now, I want to get that for this Gagada branch, oh, which one has the highest for the whole of Gagada branch? I think from what I see is Gagada chicken suya. Gagada chicken suya. So now, um, what if I can have, okay, this table now, this particular table, before I go there, this particular table here, this table, this one that I have here, I will need this table. You know, this table, we don't have it. Okay, let's do something like this. What if I can have something that can rank for me? Are you with me? Something that can tell me that, okay, this particular person is the first position, this particular person is the second position for Bagada. And once I'm done with Bagada and I go to Ibadan, it will do for Ibadan that, okay, this particular person is the first for Ibadan. This particular person is the second for Ibadan. That's rank. Oh. Then I'll go to Ikoyi. Then I'll say that, okay, this particular person is the first for Ikoyi. That's what the rank will do for me. Now, after I do all the ranking, then I will bring out all those ones that have one. I don't know if you are getting it. I'll bring out all those ones that have one. You know, all those ones that have one, they are the first for each branch. I will now say, okay, I want to see only those ones that have one. So can you see? I can now see Dagada first, Ibadan first, Ikoyi first. What I just explained now using Excel, do you understand? Nobody's answering.
You understand, Mr. Ahmed?
Yes,
Okay.
I understand.
Yes. Now that table that you understand, this table that you understand, you need to create this table and save it as what? A CTE. You need to create this table and save it as what? A CTE. So how do I create this table? I need to create the branch, the pizza sold, the total revenue, and that rank. How do I create that rank? That rank is created using that Windows function. So now we are coming back to Windows function. But let me just tell you, how do we do that? I'm still talking about the CTE now. That CTE, that particular table that will give us the branch, pizza sold, revenue, and the ranking. Look at it. This is it here. And the name of the table is what? Pizza ranking. This is the select statement. Let me run it. If I run it, let me export it. So you see it on Excel very well. So now you already know how to export. Oh. Look at it. Let me increase it. Now look at it. Can you see? It has done for Bagada. When it finished Bagada, it did for all of them. Let me use this. Can you see for Ibadan? It has sorted it for Ibadan. Then for Ikoyi, look at Ikoyi here. This is the first person for Ikoyi. Now what I will do, this table now is what we have as our CTE. That's what they call pizza ranking on our SPL. So what they will now do is that they will now say, okay, oh, from this particular table that we have, this particular table, select the branch, the pizza sold, the total revenue, the total revenue. Don't select the ranking, oh. You just select the branch, the pizza sold, and the total revenue. Where the ranking is one. How do I show where the ranking is one? I'll just come here and I'll select one. So can you see for each branch, I can see Because for you to have a ranking of 1, it means you are first. It means that particular pizza is selling the highest in that particular place. Now, how do we create this ranking? We are coming. But now, let me go back to my SQL. On my SQL now, ignore this particular statement first. Ignore it. So we are coming back for that one. So now, with pizza ranking, that is the name of our city as this particular thing. Now, you now select. We've not selected anything before. We just defined this one. We just defined that table, that big table on our Excel. This one. That's what we did. We defined this one with our CTE. And this is the end of that CTE. We now say select the branch, the pizza sold, and the total revenue. Now I told you select those three things. From where are we selecting from? The table we created. And the name of that table is what? Pizza ranking. So if you have saved your CTE too as Areyo, what you'll be using here too will be what? Areyo. So you select it from what? Pizza ranking, where the ranking is equal to 1 because we've ranked it. So you now pick from where the ranking is what? Equal to what? 1. Do you understand? Do you understand
Hello,
before I
sir.
move on? Yes, ma'am.
The part I don't understand is this row number over partition by.
No, no, we are coming back there. I've not gotten there.
Okay,
I'll go back and explain that
okay,
one. I tell you to
okay,
ignore what we have here. What we have here is how you define the city, Abi. I'll come back there now.
okay.
Abi?
Mr. Ahmed, I have a
Yes,
question.
sir.
Huh?
Where did you get the rankings you got to 1 from the
If you
SQL?
check, if you check, no, the ranking equals 1. How did we get it? We got it from this particular function, row number over partition. And I'm coming to explain that for you now. I'm just saying that I want to explain this CTE, this particular one. We started with a CTE, right? Pizza ranking. That CTE gave us this table. Look at the table here. Can you see there's a ranking here? That CTE gave us this table. Look at the table. Now it is from this table now. I will now select the branch. I'll select this pizza sold. I'll select the total revenue. I will not select ranking, but I want to see all those things where the ranking is equal to 1. That is where this ranking is equal to only 1. So let me move on.
Mr.
Now,
Ahmed,
what I yes,
um, this CTE that we created,
yes,
we create it because we want to use it again and again, right?
yes, we have used it here now. Pizza ranking.
I know, but in practical, when you are doing SQL, you create it when you have multiple things you want to query with it.
Yes, yes, you can use it when you have multiple queries you want to query
But
with it.
this one, you could have just have written all of this in the
If
from.
you want to, yes, now,
Uh-huh.
if you want to write it, now look at the last one that we did, number 8. Instead of writing that particular big thing, I can decide to use CTE.
Yes,
Now I
yes,
can represent it. I've already done it now. That I named it Ario.
yeah.
Thank you. So that it will not look confusing. That's why some people use CTE. So they would have
Hmm.
represented that big table with something already. So it's not compulsory that it is until you need it more than a single time. If you need it a single time, just to make your SQL query not complex, you can use CTE. Now, the next problem that we have is that CTE that we created ourselves. How does it look like? Let's paste it here. Have I answered your question?
Yes, you have.
Now, this particular CTE, look at the answer it gave us. It gave us this thing. Look at what it gave us. 4 columns. The branch, the pizza sold, the revenue, and the ranking. So let's go and see what is inside that statement. Select from sales table, select the branch. We have the branch, don't forget. We have the pizza sold, don't forget. We have the sum of sales price as total revenue. And now the last thing that we have is that ranking. And how did they get that ranking? Look at it. This is it, ranking. Now, how did we do it? There's something we call the Windows function. It's the accumulation of two or more functions. We have more than one function here. Row number is a function. Over partition by sales table. I will explain all these things to us. Order by sum of sales table, that is the total revenue. We are ordering by the total revenue in descending order, that is from the highest to the lowest. Now, this particular thing, let me take it back to SQL. So what do I mean by this row number? That is, I want you to add numbers, that is a ranking number, to all these things that I have here. I want you to add a ranking number. That is row number over partition by. Okay, if you want me to add row number, how do you want me to add it? I want you to use the branch as reference. Because I have the branch is occurring more than once, right? So I have multiple branches. And for the whole of Gagada, I want to see the number one for Gagada, right? For each branch. So I'm partitioning by branch. I'm partitioning by branch. Don't forget your order by. Now, what are you ordering by? I'm ordering by, that is, if this total revenue now, if it is the highest, that is order now. That is where my ranking should start from the highest. My ranking should start from what? The highest. Do you understand what I just explained?
Yes, sir.
So now my
Yes,
ranking
sir.
will start from the highest. So all these things that I wrote, all this row number over partition, I want to name it as what? Ranking. I want to name it as what? Ranking. That is it. I want to have a number such that you have to partition it by the branch. The ordering must be based on the total sales that I have here. So that the highest of these ones, for those branches that I have, the highest should be number one. Because I've done it in descending order. If I remove this descending now and I put ascending, it means the smallest will be number one. So it is that one that I have inside my CTE, including that ranking. Then from that CTE that I created, I was able to generate what I needed. I was able to filter it out. And if you look at this now, if I run this, have you seen it? Dagada chicken suya. If I go to my Excel and I take one, Dagada chicken suya, Ibadan hot pepperoni feast. If I go back to my Power BI, Ibadan hot pepperoni feast, Ikoyi is just pepperoni feast, Lekki is hot pepperoni feast, Surulere is chicken suya. So if I go back to my Surulere chicken suya, Lekki hot pepperoni feast, Ikoyi pepperoni feast, and Ibadan is hot pepperoni feast too. So that is it. Do you understand now?
Mr. Ahmed.
Ahmed,
Hmm.
problem dey o.
Uh-uh. What's
Mr.
the problem?
Ahmed.
So what's confusing me here? I got it. I have the same answer. I tested it with Excel. That's why I know it was correct. But I used in my own. I said select branch, pizza name, total revenue from. Then my from statement looks like your CTE. The only difference is that I don't have roll number, I have rank. Rank
Now,
over position by.
wait. The fact that you use another function does not mean you are wrong.
What I'm asking is what's the difference between rank and roll number?
That is when you have your own now, you have a rank function, abi? A rank function that will help you rank it.
But it's the same. It's only when you put roll number now, me, I have rank. And it's like you're
It's the
doing
same
exactly
thing
the
now.
same thing. Okay,
It's
the
the
two
same
functions are
thing
the
now.
same.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, that the fact that I have something different from your own does not mean you are wrong.
Eh,
Mr.
kò yé
Ahmed,
mi.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Ahmed, ranking,
Yes.
according to what you are explaining now, to me, the way I understand it is ranking is just, what is it called? The column name. Then the row numbers are the ones, the numbers, the values you have in that
Thank you.
particular column. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
So now the branches now that you are talking about, you are partitioning by each branches. So which
Yes,
is now
yes.
giving us the you are if you want to rank by second, so that means we'll put the 1 second, that is 2, then it will give us the answer, right? Is that what you are
Yes,
saying?
yes, 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 exactly. That is what I'm saying. I understand what you are saying. Let me remove all this. If you look at it, Dagada came first. We have all the Dagada first. That's why we have that Dagada there. After Dagada, then we have Ibadan. Everything in Ibadan was listed out. That's why our partition by was that branch. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, any question?
Can we redo any one that we got wrong? I got number 8 one wrong. I want to redo it.
Yes, now. In fact, you have to redo everything now.
How will I redo the one I got right?
You don't understand. Just to do it again and get used to it. It's not like it's
Sir,
compulsory you will do it.
I did it of
You
this
don't,
question like four times before I got it right.
Mr. Michael, you got it. Some people didn't get it. Do you
No, I
understand?
think that I'm saying that the one that we got wrong, we do it again.
Yes, the one that you got wrong, you do it again. What I just did now, there's a lot of information that I need to digest. Thank God there's a video. Let me even stop the video. So